Nigeria has introduced a new school curriculum for basic, secondary and technical education, expected to start in 2025-2026 academic session. Authorities say under the new curriculum, senior secondary students will study expanded subjects, including programming, artificial intelligence, data science, and cybersecurity, alongside existing core subjects. In this story, Gist Nigeria's Mercy France scratches beyond the headlines to see if schools, teachers, and others in the education ecosystem are ready for the change. Have a look.
Nigeria is rebooting its basic education system.
What I have seen reflects the demand of time.
It's a very nice development, and I was very, very happy as a teacher.
But truth is, most teachers are not ready for this.
If beavers and high red can work for election from rural areas, then we should get our schools to have the right devices that the students need. It's not so much to ask.
Could the speed of the reforms be outrunning the readiness of schools? In Nigeria, school curriculum reforms aren't new. Since the 1980s and major shifts in the 2000s and 2010, each generation of pupils has seen changes. In the early 2000s, the curriculum included around 12 subjects at basic and junior secondary level. By 2010, it ballooned to 18.
It's killing, and and they have to come home with the assignments and looking at all those things, and you have to, apart from the assignments, when the exam comes or test and all those things, they still have to go through all these things.
The calculations are quite too much for me to handle, and I have to cram or assimilate a lot of formulas.
Sometimes it's hard to comprehend what you are being taught all at once.
It's boring. You can just listen in class and then you doze off. I'm like, what's going on here?
The learning environment that I am is not too conducive. There will be a combination of science students, art students, and commercial students.
He used to ask us to write notes at home. I feel bored. I feel like it's a burden on us.
New government has introduced a new policy aimed at shedding the load. Basic school pupils face fewer core subjects. Senior secondary students pick around 9 subjects, including new subjects like digital technologies, citizenship and heritage studies, vocational trades such as solar installation, computer hardware and GSM repairs, and the return of the embattled Nigerian history.
The curriculum reform is never late or too early, but what needs to be done is that it has to be like periodical review, because the world is changing. As we're having more societal problems, socio-economic problems, then our curriculum should be changing to reflect how the students should have the competencies to grow up and become adults that can solve these problems.
The circular announcing the new curriculum was released just as schools prepared to resume for the new academic year. Moron Mubawale Olariwaju manages a school in Ikorodu, a rapidly growing suburb of Lagos, Nigeria.
It's destabilized some things, some of our plans, some of our textbooks that we already bought. How do we get back to the parents and tell them, the government just changed? We couldn't do that. So now we had to go back to re-strategize on using those textbooks and then moving on with another plan completely.
But this reform appears not to land on equal ground. Just 140 kilometers away, Rashid Fasasi, the principal of Ibadan Boys High School in southwestern Nigeria's Oyo State, is concerned with logistics.
We have not received the necessary detailed information about the new curriculum. Other than those who have done personal investment in upgrading their skills, officially, we don't have teachers who have been specifically trained for some of these new subjects. So it's important that if we're going to take off, we're going to start the new curriculum, there will be the need to train the teachers in those fields that are relatively new.
Across the Niger, Chidinma Eziala is a primary 5 teacher in southeastern Nigeria's Anambra State. She supports the upgrade but points out some inherent confusion.
There is a course they call provocational studies. That course implies social studies is there, agricultural science is there. But as a teacher, you teach it one after the other, not just teaching it as a one course, like the federal government stated. So as a teacher, if you want to record, you also record it as a whole, not just one after the other. So it's a kind of challenges I'm having when I teach.
In north-central Niger State, Baba Zukogi, who doubles as a basic and senior secondary school tutor, says he fears that distance and infrastructure might create a widening learning gap.
No fence, nothing. Even to keep, classrooms in good shape is not there. No roof, no ceiling, no windows, no doors, nothing. The one that is more destructive is the fact that for government to thoroughly implement what they have stipulated now, the new curriculum they are bringing in now, is also a problem because funding will not take place. Even if funding is done, issues of corruption is a big problem here. In fact, even what they will deliver in schools is half measure.
Different states, different resources, different possibilities, yet one national promise.
They know it already, not just knowing it for knowing sake. They know it now that it's in them. Yes, the future it will be helpful to them.
The drawback is that whenever things are pronounced like that, I think the implementation aspect is where I think we have not really considered how quickly. Because saying we are implementing it from 2025, we don't have the facilities, we don't have the support yet, we don't have the funding.
If we are going to kickstart this academic session 25-26, by now we should have commenced, because the schools are resumed for 2025-26 academic session. We are already 4 weeks into the academic session. Until now, we have not started anything about it.
With all said and done, the Oyo State National Teachers Institute, where teachers are trained, insists that the glass is half full.
They are going for training, different trainings on how to use computer, on information, on digital.
Before moving to the roadmap ahead, some uncomfortable questions remain for those steering this reform. Government insists that this new curriculum cycle has begun, yet the teaching cycle and the regional exam structure are not aligned. What about SS3 students who have been studying one set of subjects for the past 2 years and now only have a few months before WAEC? Where does this new policy leave pupils in rural communities? Does this reform expand opportunity or widens inequality?
What needs to happen for this reform to meet its mark?
So I expect the government to reach out to us really and let us know where they are going to. The reason for this new curriculum, you understand, that will help us to run.
Quantum computing, artificial intelligence are taking over industries that the students are going to work later in the future. So we have to make sure that we make all our schools to be smart.
If the government can start with that, give us a robotic class, train our teachers, and then we are good to go.
Federal government have to support with the tools to enable the practice of the curriculum.
We need to move faster. That is just it.
From Moro Mubawale to Rashid, Chidinma and Baba, sending the memo is just step one. Stakeholders insist that the true measure of the new policy will be whether every Nigerian child, no matter where they live, get the skills they need to thrive in today's competitive world. Mercy Frank, Gist Nigeria.